exactly how you want this to look. Let's zoom in. There we go. I'm not sure whether you want it to be that you keep the shadows of the paper cut so that it makes it really clear that it's a paper cut and you just want the texture on it, or whether you want it to be a kind of crisp line. So I'm going to show you how to do it, and then you'll have to make the decision yourself on whether you do it to include or exclude the shadows. Okay? So if we didn't do it too far there, haven't I? So if we name your layers first because they're not super clear. So if we call that texture, and then if we decide which tree we're going to look at, we'll do this one, call it tree 1. Okay, so the first thing we need to do is rasterize your layer. So if you go to layer, rasterize, and then all layers, and then we'll be able to edit them. We need to think about where we want this texture to be and what scale you want it to be at when it's on the tree. So play around with that until it's where you want it to be. This is a kind of quick and dirty way of getting the textures on. You can also do clipping masks where you're more able to play around with the texture when it's put into the surface. And there's a video on my CAD tutorials about how to do a clipping mask, so have a look at that. So I'm going to show you this quick and dirty way of how to do it. Okay, so we've got it laid up kind of roughly where we want it to be. If we click on your tree now, we're going to use the magic wand to select the green area of the top of the tree. So I set my tolerance to about 40 because it means that it picks up just enough of the stuff to get a clear outline, but it doesn't make it too frilly. If you zoom right in, you can see that it's not actually picked up all of it, and it's certainly not picked up your shadow. And this is where if you want to do that really crisply, you're going to have to use your magnetic lasso or your polygon lasso to crop around it really carefully. I'm just going to do this super quick to show you. Okay, so play around with the tolerance on your Photoshop. It should normally be set at something like 10, and if you click on it with a 10, it picks up minute areas of similar colours, and so we're trying to get the balance right between picking up enough colours to get a crisp outline. Your image is a bit blurry, it's not very high resolution, and so we're not going to get a very crisp outline. If it was scanned in, it would. If we do it at 100, it's being really non-discriminatory about what it's picking up. It's picking up anything that's a slightly similar colour. So play around with it until you've got something that feels better for you, that picks up enough of your information. Okay, so if we zoom out, the simplest way for us to do that is to pretend that your texture's already there and invert it to get rid of everything else that's inside the tree. So if we select inverse, remember when I showed you how to do that before, what it means is that it's not selecting your green tree top anymore. What it's doing is selecting everything apart from that green tree top. We don't want to delete it on that layer because then we'll delete all the rest of the tree, all the rest of the bark. We want to delete it on the texture layer. So if you go to your texture layer and then press delete, it looks like we've deleted all of it, but we haven't. We've just deleted everything that wasn't inside the green tree top. So now if we go back to our inverse, select inverse again, that means it'll be getting rid of the tree. Go to tree 1 and press delete, and then we've got your texture in your tree. So if we zoom out, depending on what scale you're working at, that's clear enough to keep that kind of hand cut feel. As I say, if you want to be able to move the texture around, play around with the scale of it and create different effects with it, clipping mask is going to be your best option. So have a look at that video. Okay.